p.m. and welcome everyone. For the audience here tonight, my name is Brian Faber and I am the chair and serve as the presiding officer over the Planning Commission meetings. In consideration of others and the business conducted tonight, please silence your phones and electronic devices and refrain from speaking unless recognized. If you are in attendance and wish to speak during public comment and/or public hearings, speaker cards are located in the lobby area at the rear of the chamber. Please fill out a card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of the public comment and/or public hearing. Again, this is a public meeting of the community of Glendora. This evening we have not present. At this time, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Norwood, if you could lead us in it. Thank you. Does anyone wish to reorder or add to the agenda tonight? Seeing none, we will move on to public comment. At this time, I'm going to open up the public comment period, and I'll invite members of the public to address the legislative body. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, speaking once on both on and off agenda items. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of the public comment period. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name and the subject matter you wish to discuss. This time, I'll invite any speakers to come up for public comment. Seeing none, I'll ask if there's any cards. No cards. No correspondences.
We do not.
All right, so this time we will close the public comment period. We're going to move on to member statements and reports. I'm going to invite any reports from commissioners first, if there's any. Seeing none, we'll invite reports from Jeff.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the commission. So tonight, sort of a very sad night for the commission. Tonight is Commissioner Norwood's last meeting as a planning commissioner. He's
Join us next.
It's as part of the city's policy, you serve 2 terms as a planning commissioner, 2 4-year terms, and then you're termed out. Commissioner Norwood began on the Planning Commission way back in 2017. When we were all 8 years younger. And so wanted to take this opportunity to recognize that and also let him know, first of all, I enjoyed very much having Commissioner Norwood on for the last 8 years. I think he's been chair 2 or 3 times, 2 times during that period, and seen a lot of projects and things. And I think he started off, we were just talking about it, when he got on the commission, the Arrow Highway Specific Plan was just coming to the commission, which was a comprehensive planning document for the Arrow Highway Corridor, and now you're seeing some of the developments come to you out of that specific plan. I also wanted to recognize you. The mayor is here, Mayor Friedendahl. If I could call the mayor up to the podium, who has a certificate to present to you for your service on the commission. So, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff, and commissioners. Thank you for all you do and allowing me to join your session this evening for a moment. Sometimes you say, glad to see you go, or sad to see you go, or paroled, or however you may wish it. I look at it as thank you very much for your unselfish service for 8 years. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of homework. And I know for some of that, I believe you were still in a career at the same time, so that was adding to the extra workload of it. So we, the city, certainly appreciate it and the good decisions that have come from this panel's work. So your term as chair for 2 times, and certainly the 8 years does not go without great recognition. So we'd like to offer you a little certificate of recognition to Kurt Norwood, an appreciation for your service and leadership to the Glendora community while serving on the City of Glendora Planning Commission, presented this date and signed by the City Council, whose autographs may be famous one day, so you could hang on to this. But we'd like to thank you very much for your service. So, if I may. Get that photo opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
It's been a great pleasure.
More than 8 years, though? 8 years and a couple months.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I'll make a couple, thank everyone up there. Thank you. Thank you so much.
As Commissioner Norwood returns to his seat, of course, I'm sure the chair would mind if Commissioner Norwood has any parting words of wisdom for the commissioner, if he wants to save those till the end of the meeting.
You know what, I'll save it to the end of the meeting.
All right, give him some time to collect his thoughts.
Yeah,
Write that
yeah, think
speech
of all the wisdom I got out of
There you go. We definitely need it because you were here for, and did some great things for those 8 years. So we're expecting a great end of the speech here.
Quickly, I do, because I don't expect you to sit through the whole meeting, council members. So thank you and city council for the recognition. It's been a privilege to serve, and please express my gratitude to them for their certificate and the recognition. Thank you.
All right. All right, we'll now move into the public hearings. We're looking at a conditional use permit, CUP, for a new 2,800 square foot classroom building at an existing church and school facility at 1041 East Foothill Boulevard. Project file number PLN 24-0034. I'm going to invite planning technician Kristen Gates to report.
Good evening, Chair Faber and members of the commission. Before you tonight is the request for approval of a conditional use permit to allow construction of a 2,800 square feet classroom building at a existing church and school facility at 1041 East Foothill Boulevard, project number PLN 24-0034. Sorry. Let's see. I do have the clicker.
You know,
It's
I
not
think
on this
those are the
PowerPoint.
slides from the previous, last month's commission meeting.
Can you recess for about 5 minutes?
We're going to take a break while I can figure out the technical difficulties. All right, so we're back on track, so gonna
All right.
start over. Here we go. Invite Kristen back up to the podium here.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Chair Faber, members of the commission. Before you tonight is the request for approval of a conditional use permit to allow construction of a 2,800 square foot classroom building at an existing church and school facility at 1041 East Foothill Boulevard, project number PLN 24-0034. Recommendations. Staff recommends the adoption of a categorical exemption pursuant to CEQA and a planning commission resolution approving the proposed project. The project site is an existing church and school located on the northwest corner of Foothill Boulevard and Lorraine Avenue. The site is zoned single-family estate E4 with a general plan land use designation of low-medium density residential. With the approval of a CUP, a permanent classroom building for school use within the E4 zone is permitted. The site's current use is a church and school by the name of Hope Lutheran. Hope Lutheran has been operating as a church since 1958. 2 years later, in 1960, Hope Lutheran added a school for grades K through 8th. Up here, you can see the existing modular classroom to be replaced, as well as the proposed permanent classroom down here on the bottom right. Site plan, we have the site plan of the new proposed classroom. Pursuant to the Glendora Municipal Code, the proposed use requires a CUP to construct a new school building for school use in a residential zone. Notices were mailed out to all property owners within a 300-foot radius. Notice was also published in the San Gabriel Valley Examiner. To date, staff has received no inquiries regarding the project. Excuse me. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the categorical exemption and the Planning Commission resolution entitled "A Resolution of the Planning Commission Approving a Conditional Use Permit for Development of a New 2,800 Square Foot Classroom Building at an existing church and school facility located at 1041 East Foothill Boulevard, project file number PLN 24-0034. Thank you for your time. The applicant, owner representative, and I are available for any questions.
Thank you, Kristen. We can invite the applicant, Eric Rodriguez, to present if you choose to. If not, you don't need to, but if he is here, right?
Good evening, Planning Commission. My name is Eric Rodriguez. I'm with Day Architects, and I just had a brief statement. I wanted to thank you for considering this application for approval. The church and the school specifically is very much looking forward to be able to provide the students that go there a modern, more efficient classroom than they currently have, as those existing modulars, if you know the area, it's been there for quite some time. So again, I'll be available for any questions that may come up, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Eric. This time, we're going to open public testimony and invite members of the public. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, speaking only on this agenda item. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of public testimony period. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name and subject matter you wish to discuss. This time, I'll invite speakers to the podium if there are any. Come on up. Let's make sure, did you give a card already, or?
No, I've never done this before.
So when you're done, there's cards at the door. If you could just fill it out and then bring it back up.
Okay. My name is Sarah Carrillo. I share a wall with Hope Lutheran, and I'm just here to find out where exactly the new building is proposed, when it's proposed to begin and finish, and what the hours of the construction will be.
Great, thank you. I think probably either Kristen or Eric can address some of them, right? Yeah. Yeah, is there any more public testimony? All right, seeing none, we will close the public testimony portion of the building, and I'll invite the applicant, Eric Rodriguez, to provide summarization and closing arguments if desired on anything.
Sure. And I'll try to speak into the mic in order for it to get picked up. But as you can see, the left side over here, where that solid line with all the little parking slots, that is the westmost wall of the property. We're going to be nestling the classroom building within the two existing two-story classrooms to the north there, and to the existing fellowship hall / administration building to the south there. So it's going to go exactly in the position that the existing modular building is located. I hope that answers your question. And as far as the construction schedule is concerned, we're still obviously in the process of planning, and we're obviously still with building department as well. We don't anticipate to begin until we're hoping about July, perhaps, maybe even August, depending on when the contractor is selected and awarded the project. And the construction will probably be ongoing until probably till the end of the year at a minimum. Hope Lutheran doesn't quite do a lot of building, so they need some, a little bit of leeway with their timing. So we're anticipating to be wrapped up by the end of the year. And as far as construction hours are concerned, that's usually something that I believe is placed in the conditions of approval, or the fact that the city has their own required hours of construction, which I don't remember off the top of my head, so I apologize. I don't know if that's something. The hours are 7 to 6, and that's exactly what the contractor would abide by for sure.
And it's Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. I just want to remind you to also fill out that public comment card and get it to the recording admin up here before you leave. At this time, we'll close the public hearing, and we'll move to discussions and deliberations from the commission. Commissioner Norwood?
No, I think it'd be a great addition to the church and the school, and I have no further comments.
Great. Commissioner Koss?
I've spent 30 years as a teacher, and I always love to see students get out of modulars and into real classrooms. So I think it's great.
Commissioner Davis?
Long time coming, huh? Just a couple quick things. You had mentioned that the notice was given to the publicly to the examiner. Is there, and maybe this is a little bit for staff, for my own knowledge, is there a circulation quota or criteria for notifications? Because examiners, to the best of my knowledge, is fairly small, whereas the Tribune is much larger.
So currently, every city for public notices identifies a newspaper in their community of general circulation and identifies that as the I think they call it the adjudicated publication for public notices. And that is the publication that is the primary publication for that the city has designated.
Got it.
Alternatively, the city could also publish in other newspapers in the city, and occasionally there are, publications are done in the Tribune. Usually it's because we've missed the deadline if we need to get a public hearing for the examiner, because that paper only publishes once a week.
Okay. And my other question was, largely you'll have the same amount of students and cars and ingress and egress. Nothing's changing. It's just largely a little bit of added square footage and a new building.
Correct, yeah. I think it was, the previous building was. I believe the previous building was a little under, it was maybe about under 2,000 square feet. So they're adding, I believe it was about 30 feet, like 30 by 10, something like that. So not much more. It doesn't affect how many students they're able to teach. And it does not affect the parking because it doesn't affect the students.
Is some of that square footage restroom facility, or they still need to leave like they did the modular to use the restrooms?
That would be.
There are no restroom facilities currently slated for the modular. Actually, through our plan check process, we are seeing if we need to provide an upgrade to the existing facilities that the students have access to. It didn't come out during planning because typically that's something that the building department will check with us on.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Vice Chair Crimmins?
Nothing for me. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, I think it'll be a great addition to the school, and Looks like it'll be really nice. Oh, yep, back to Commissioner Norwood.
Does this have to go through any other state approvals or just local approval? I mean, because it's a school, I'm assuming it's a private school, so it's not the same as what it would be with a public school. So no other approval. I'm looking at staff, but I guess you might be a better.
I apologize if I'm overstepping, but from my understanding, from my knowledge, because it is a privately funded institution, it is only the local municipal code and building code that applies. This doesn't go to like DSC or any other approval agency.
That's actually
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
That's true, because it's a private school.
That's
And just for clarification on that question, public schools do not come to the city for permits or approval. They're reviewed and approved by the state architect.
perfect. Okay. So then you might finish by the end of the year.
All right. At this time, I'm going to request a motion and a second.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, so let me get out of this thing.
Oh, where's that thing?
Oh, sorry, I got to read it. I didn't read it correctly. So let me try that. I'm going to try that one more time. It's time I'm going to request a motion and a second to adopt a categoric exemption pursuant to 15303 of the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, and adopt Planning Commission Resolution PC 2025-10, entitled "A Resolution of the Planning Commission Approving a Conditional Use Permit for Development of a New 2,800 Square Foot Classroom Building at an existing church and school facility located at 1041 East Foothill, project file number PLN 240034.
I make a motion to approve.
I will second.
All right, there was a motion by Commissioner Davis and a second by Vice Chair Commissioner Crimmins, and we will now vote. And I'll announce the results that the motion carried with a vote of 5 yeas and 0 nays. So we'll move on to our next item, the consideration of a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Glendora, California, approving a certificate of appropriateness to allow alterations to a contributing resource within the Historic Preservation Overlay Zone and Development Plan Review to allow the construction of 3 two-story multifamily apartments on certain property located at 131 East Foothill Boulevard, project number PLN 25-0011. The applicant is Dan Casito, Design and Construction. The property owner is 131 Foothill LLC. At this time, I'll invite Kristen back up to the podium to report.
Hello again. Okey doke. Good evening, Chair Faber, the members of the commission. Before you tonight is the request for approval of a development plan review to allow construction of 3 two-story apartments and an approval of a certificate of appropriateness to allow construction on a contributing resource located within the Historic Preservation Overlay Zone at 131 East Foothill Boulevard, project number PLN 25-0011. Pursuant to the Glendora Municipal Code, the proposed project requires a DPR for development within the Civic Center area plan. The proposed project also requires a certificate of appropriateness for alteration to properties designated as historic landmarks. The project site is an existing office space for Visiting Angels Senior Home Care located on the northwest corner of Foothill Boulevard and Vista Bonita Avenue, right behind us, actually. The site is zoned Civic Center Area Plan, Village Core, with a general plan land use designation of Village Mixed Use. With the approval of a DPR and certificate of appropriateness, 3 two-story apartment units within the CCAP T-5 zone and Historic Preservation Overlay Zone is permitted. Here you can see the elevations for proposed apartment A, apartments B and C. And we have composite perspectives from the southwest and from the southeast. Notices were mailed out to all property owners within a 300-foot radius. Notice was also published in the San Gabriel Valley Examiner. To date, staff has received no inquiries regarding the project. So site history, this one's a fun one. The site was originally purchased by Colonel Eugene F. Underhill and Minnie Underhill in 1918, and their home was built in 1919 after the demolition of the existing small house. The home they built became known as the Glass House for its modern design and generous use of windows. You can see them pretty well over there. People traveled from around the area to view the Glass House. Colonel Underhill willed the house to the YWCA under the condition that his wife could live there until her passing. The YWCA operated at this location from the time of Minnie's passing in 1958 until 1983, when they ran into funding issues. The building became Foothill Presbyterian's Low Vision Eye Center and the Community Education Center. In 1994, the site became home to Glendora's Chamber of Commerce and underwent significant renovation and restoration. In 2012, the chamber left the site, and the current occupants, Visiting Angels Senior Home Care, acquired the property. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the categorical exemption and the Planning Commission resolution entitled, "A Resolution of the Planning Commission Approving a Development Plan Review Application to Allow the Construction of 3 two-story multifamily residential apartment unit buildings and approving a certificate of appropriateness to allow construction on a contributing resource parcel located within the Historic Preservation Overlay Zone for a property located at 131 East Foothill Boulevard, project file number PLN 25-0011. Thank you for your time. The owners and I are available for any questions.
Great, thank you. I just want to make sure that, I think I might have messed up because I didn't say declare the public hearing open at the end of that. So looking at Judy, I think if I say it now, we're good?
Yeah, if you can just open it right now.
Perfect. So do I need to repeat it or? Okay. So at this time, we'll invite the owners, Lindsay and Deed Raffield, to present if needed. Feel free to come on up to the podium.
Good evening, Commission. I'm Lindsay, and this is Dean Grayfeld. We're the owners of 131 East Foothill and also 117 Vista Bonita behind it. We, as you recall, probably Commissioner Norwood recalls, the 117 North Vista Bonita was quite an undertaking with all the overlays and easements and all kinds of crazy things with these properties. We were originally tenants at Visiting Angels. I was the owner for many years there. And then we bought it in a not so great condition back several years ago. Anyway, all that to say is we're super happy about the opportunity of finishing off this corner and making it look even better. I think you've all seen what happened at 117 North Vista Bonita. And this time we are with Dan Casiato, who's got a pretty good relationship with the city. Our architect, he's here tonight for comment as well. And we will be using the same construction company, Grady Construction. They were able to put the last units up in 6 months, and we think they can do the same. So we're happy to take any questions and happy to be here. Do you have anything to add, Dean?
No. Nice job.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to open public testimony and invite members of the public. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes speaking only on this agenda item. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of the public testimony period. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name and subject matter you wish to discuss. At this time, I'll invite any speakers to come up to the podium if there are any. Okay. All right, so it appears that there are no speakers, so at this time, we're going to close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Following the agenda, it's always weird, but I'll invite Lindsay and Dean back up to the podium if needed to speak again. Sounds like not needed. So we will close the public hearing and start the discussions and deliberations from the commission. Commissioner Norwood?
Just to refresh my memory, the properties that were behind it were there was an old home there that had been built like in the early 1900s, and it had a lot of old construction issues. So now you're going to kind of make this all into. Are there 2 separate properties still? Yes. So this would be a separate property from that one, and okay, and It looks like, I don't know if you've done upgrades on the property compared to what it was, you know, in the previous owners, even from the Chamber of Commerce, stuff like that. So I'm in favor of the project. I mean, it doesn't hold the same historical look that it held. You know, it'd be nice if they put one of those signs out there where history lived here. I see them all over town. You know, not many people read them, but they're here. And if I see them, I stop and read them. But hopefully, that would be a consideration.
Commissioner Cost?
Yes, so Visiting Angels then is not going to be there anymore, correct? They will be. Oh,
You,
The original building is staying.
okay.
There is quite a gap between Visiting Angels building and the property line.
I see, okay.
Somewhere in history, there was some sort of a carriage house, something was there. Not when we got it, but, so there was quite a bit of room back there.
Okay, so it will be next to where the Visiting Angels building is,
It's kind of behind it.
behind it, okay.
Yeah.
I wondered about, I was like, oh, is Visiting Angels leaving? Okay, they're going to stay. Okay,
We're here forever.
okay, good. That was my question. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
They're not visiting, they're permanent, right?
Commissioner
Okay.
Cost, there is a site plan for better context that was a part of the attachments that we failed to put it in the
I thought I had
slideshow,
seen
but
one somewhere, but then,
it's,
I can't, yeah, mine's not loading either. Yeah.
Maybe
but it's
Kristen,
going to be essentially a mixed-use project site with residential to the north and the
Yeah, my-
existing commercial.
My
what it
attachments
appears-
aren't loading, so I can't really see it, but, okay, that was my only question.
From what it appears, Mark, maybe you could clarify, or Kristen, but the existing building stays the same. There's just 3 buildings that are built directly behind it between
Correct.
the house.
Right now, it has a drive aisle to the north, and they closed that drive aisle off when they did the construction of the other project. That area is where all the north kind of parking area drive aisles where these units will be constructed.
So I think also Commissioner Norwood, that kind of helps your concern that
Yes, I misunderstood. I thought Visiting Angel building was going away.
No, the intent of the certificate of appropriateness is to document that it's appropriate for these buildings to be side by side the historical building, and then they're contextually they're appropriate.
All right, Commissioner Davis?
I'm looking at the site plan. I guess my only concern is its proximity to the cross street. Is it, so the ingress and egress would be via Foothill right here? Do you see any vehicular conflict turning left out of there with that street being so close? Is it right in, right out, or will you be able to?
It's like that now.
Oh, it's like that now?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess there've been no issues to date. Okay, that's really all I had. Good luck.
Vice Chair Crimmins?
No additional questions for me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great addition. I think I've been in this room for, I'm just going to say I've been in this room for a year or two. I really didn't realize there were actually windows till they were open, and how appropriate can it be that we actually can just look right out the windows and see the building and potentially visualize the 3 buildings behind it and the same walkway. And it sounds like that building, that sign, everything right there stays as is. So it holds some historical context and just adds to the area. So I think it'll be a great addition. Sorry, give me a
I
second.
do have one quick question.
Go ahead, Commissioner Norwood.
Parking for it, is it because it's so close to the gold line? Does it have reduced parking requirements?
So because of its proximity to the Gold Line, it actually doesn't require any parking, in addition to it being so close to the village. But they did provide 1 parking spot per tenant, so 1 parking spot per unit, I should say, so which is not required.
And it's going to take away from the business parking slightly also, I'm assuming.
Correct. I believe there's,
Likely.
yeah.
There'll still be how many parking spots?
I
Five.
want to say there's
5,
I'm gonna say 5. There we go, 5.
plus an ADA, so 6.
Okay, that was it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to request a motion and a second to adopt a categorical exemption for the project pursuant to 15303 of the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines and adopt Planning Commission Resolution PC 2025-11 entitled A Resolution of the Planning Commission Approving a Development Plan Review to allow the construction of a contributing resource parcel located within the Historic Preservation Overlay Zone for a property located at 131 East Foothill Boulevard, project file number PLN 25-0011, applicant Dan Casito Design and Construction, property owner 131 Foothill LLC.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
So we had a motion by Commissioner Koss and a second by Commissioner Norwood. If we can all vote now. I will now announce that the motion carried with a vote of 5-0. Congratulations. Yep. We're going to move on to the consent calendar. Items on the consent calendar will be enacted by one motion without individual discussion unless a commissioner has requested it to be removed for separate discussion. Does anyone wish to pull or comment on any consent calendar items? Seeing none, I'm going to request a motion.
I'll make a
and second.
motion.
I'll second.
All right, we had a motion by Commissioner Norwood and a second by Vice Chair Crimmins. And we should all vote now. Thank you. Announce that the motion carried 5-0.
Just real quick, the lady who spoke earlier, your concerns were answered okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I was just wanting to know a little bit more.
Okay.
What to expect.
All right. I'm kind of confused a little bit by the agenda here, but I guess we're just, oh, closing comments. We're just, sorry, never mind. It's all packed into there. Sorry. So we're going to move on to the closing comments. So Commissioner Koss. I think that was part of the consent calendar.
Don't we have a liquor license?
It shows that the items 4, 5, and 6 were the consent calendar.
That's what I'm taking from this, right? Is that true? Yeah.
Yes, so we are on members' staff closing comments.
Sorry, can you clarify what the motion was for the consent calendar items? Because I don't think it was very clear for the record.
Sorry. So I'm going to announce that the motion to approve the consent calendar was approved 5-0. Yay.
And
Perfect.
it was for agenda items 4 through 6.
Yes, okay.
For agenda items 4 through 6. Okay.
That's cool.
Good deal. All
Yes.
right. So we're going to move on to closing statements. Commissioner Koss?
Well, I'd just like to thank Commissioner Norwood for his service, and I'd like to thank you for being on the commission and wish you well in the future.
Commissioner Davis?
yeah, well, I'd like to echo Commissioner Koss's sentiments as well. It's been an honor serving with you all these years, running into you around town every once in a while at our events. I hope to see you around town at future events.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Crimmins?
Again, congratulations, and just remember that you're always more than welcome to join us in the audience if you miss us.
Yeah, highly unlikely. But
Thank you.
Jeff or Mark?
Just a reminder, we will be having a July 1st meeting. Sounds like everybody was going to be able to attend besides one, so we'll have a quorum.
I'll be here.
So, sorry. Yes, thank you. And right now, it's looking like we'll have 3 items. One of them will be a pretty heavy project, a new housing development project that might have some public out for. And we would probably ask that each of the commissioners, if you can, reach out to us so we can meet with you, talk to you a little bit, explanation, and get an understanding of the project and what it entails. We also have a CUP as well as the Talk TAP, which is the Glendora Station Visioning Plan, which is the big project. So it'll be a pretty heavy meeting. So please, those attend, would like to reach out to each of you and have a separate meeting if possible to get you familiar.
Great. Jeff? All right. I just want to also thank Commissioner Norwood for all the years of service you committed to the city. It was very easy for me to be in the chair following you as the vice chair to see the year before you doing it. So thank you for that too, helping me do this. And I really hope you enjoy the next stage in your life. We will let you have the last comment, and I don't know if I can let you even pass the gavel. Can he end the meeting, Judy?
Oh, I'll let you end the meeting. I appreciate it, though.
Last chance.
I just want to thank, I have a long municipal government history. I've been to hundreds of council meetings and 3 or 4 different municipal planning commission meetings, and by far, easily the most professional and well-run both council meetings and mostly commission meetings that I've been involved with. So that's kudos to Jeff and his staff and everyone in the planning and building and the city clerk's office and, you know, just the staff at City Hall in general. And thanks for the community members for participating, allowing me to be here, doing this for 8 years plus. I got appointed a couple months prior to my term starting due to another resignation. So I'm glad that I was able to serve out 2 terms. And last, I want to thank my current commissioners and past commissioners who were my mentors and helped me through the process, and the fact that I was able to help in any way with the community and other commissioners in this process makes me feel like my work meant something. And with that, I want to say thank you to everybody, and you probably won't see me out there.
That's okay.
Thank you. And I guess we'll adjourn the meeting at 7:48. Thank you.
Thank you.